I'm Toni Trucks. You may know me as Lieutenant Lisa Davis in the CBS series SEAL Team. Today, with a little help from the U.S. Army Field Band, we're here to honor the real-life service members who put up their right hand to protect our nation. So sit back and enjoy Songs of Service. Behind us is the Military Women's Memorial, a one-of-a-kind tribute to the sisters in arms who have served our country for over 2 centuries. Since Loretta Walsh became the first woman to officially enlist in the military in 1917, women have continued to rise up into dynamic, influential, and dangerous areas of the military. Please join me in welcoming the U.S. Army Field Band as they perform Brass Ceiling, inspired by the brave women who have sacrificed and fought for our country.
My name is Captain Shay Haver. I'm an infantry officer in the United States Army. I had the opportunity to become one of the first females to graduate Ranger School and then the first female infantry officer to lead a company in Afghanistan.
Every flight, I get off the aircraft and I just say, I love this job. It's just kind of this beautiful symbiotic relationship between the aircraft and the people. Whether things go good or things go bad, I mean, we're all in it together.
My dog that I was with for 7 years, and going through a deployment with him, there is a bond there. You form that connection. He's my best friend. I believe in selfless service, understanding that it's not about you. What can I contribute to get the mission accomplished?
What I love about music making, and especially singing, is being able to connect with generations of people before me who, in many cases, gave the ultimate sacrifice.
The proudest moments are those ones that you know that you were a contributing member of the team, no matter what position you're in.
The feeling of being in the air and just the feeling of being able to see everything down below, especially being medevac, we have the Red Crosses, and be able to be that symbol flying through the city saying, hey, when everything hits the fan, we're here, we've got your back.
I'm honored to be able to serve. I wear this uniform with pride. We truly are the individuals who are willing to lay our lives on the line to ensure this country's safety, people's rights, equality.
We're here to prove to everyone that you can balance a very successful career in the military while having a very beautiful family at home and a strong family that is your backbone and your support.
I've been very fortunate and thankful to have a job that allows me to provide for my family. I find a lot of pride when I'm putting on my uniform each day.
The game that we play is a life and death game in the end. Raising your right hand and swearing to support and defend our Constitution, whether a man does it or a woman does it or whatever it is, does not matter, because these people are standing up saying that they will.
The pride that we have for serving our country, putting our lives on the line for those that have dedicated their lives to us. We are able to look at our children and know that they look up to their parents and understand that women can do it too. Every night, the passion in our hearts to serve, not only for our country, but also for our families.
Adrian Hernandez, who is the head arranger for the Army Field Band, reached out to me and asked me to write a piece. I definitely wanted to write a piece that would be female empowered. So I started, with Adrian's help, looking at some of the extraordinary women in the U.S. Army. I was wowed by how many jobs there were, how many different ways that a person could participate, from lawyer to doctor to dog handler to helicopter pilot. The title is an obvious double entendre. So you've got this idea of a brass ceiling, which is the phrase often used for women hitting their heads against the ceiling, but also this idea of using brass instruments and what the ceiling of that is. I was astonished by their musicianship. They are literally the best of the best. Music is the best way to communicate the human condition, and so it makes perfect sense. The Army would use the musicians as one of the tools in their toolbox to express how important the military is and to communicate what they do.
Every American coin is engraved with the Latin phrase, e pluribus unum, out of many, one. Since the beginning of our republic until now, our one nation has built strength from the many citizens who choose to make America their home. We are a nation of immigrants, and for some, that love of country goes beyond making a home here. They choose to serve.
I'm Alex Idgash. I'm a captain, U.S. Army Aviation, and in the military, I'm an operations planner. I was born around the capital of Haiti, Port-au-Prince. Grew up from two incredibly hardworking and loving parents, 2 siblings, so really close family unit. Immigrated to America and went to community college, enlisted for 2.5 years, and then attended the United States Military Academy. 7 years ago, I spoke a totally different language. I live in a different country. And then now I'm standing on this right there at that moment, about to take the same oath and join that line. So all of it just came flowing, and I just had to let it out, and somebody just happened to capture it. It felt like a crowning achievement in a way. I was the first one in my family to attend and graduate college, but more importantly, it was what it meant for my parents, especially my dad, who they sacrificed a lot, in my education and bringing me here. A month ago, actually, I was back home, in Haiti, assisting after 7.2 magnitude earthquake and caused something close to 2,500 fatalities. Coming here and having benefited of all these opportunities, to me, in a very idealistic way, is something that is worth defending, and if it comes to it, dying and fighting for. Today, I got to spend the morning with Steve Melnikov. He's 102 years old, and he was in Normandy. He actually took the beach on D+1 and fought all the way through to the end. He got injured twice and returned to combat after both injuries. One of the bullets is still lodged in his shoulder. Because of their sacrifice and their legacy, right? We got to still be standing here today and still enjoy the same culture and way of life and so much prosperity. And also, I got to join this army with such a great history, and also enjoy their legacy. And I'm just grateful that I got to meet him. One of the most dangerous thing a nation can do is to forget its history. And we can't afford to do that. Good thing is we have places like here that memorialize, and in a way, memorialize the people who actually did everything. It means everything.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag, ooh, the red, white, and blue. But when a man plays hail to the chief, oh, they point the cannon at you. It ain't me, I millionaire son. It ain't me, ain't no fortune in one. Some folks in heaven, die thing alive. Ooh, they're sending down the wall. But when you ask them, how much should we give? Well, the only answer, it ain't me, ain't no military song. It ain't me, ain't no budget in one. It ain't me, ain't no Saturday song. It ain't me, I ain't no fortunate tie. I ain't no fortunate die. I ain't no fortunate die. I ain't no fortunate son.
I'm a security officer on Fort Meade. I work the gates. I'm a staff sergeant there. I see the personnel from the Army Field Band come in every day. And a young lady came in and asked me if I'd be willing to give an interview. Number one, my whole family's military. My grandfather's an original Buffalo soldier. When we got to Da Nang, it was under fire. And as he came down, you heard it touching, and you heard the ramp go zzz. And the ramp came down, they pushed out 2 pallets. And he said, follow those pallets. And I remember a shell going on, it had to be probably a mortar. Went off maybe about 15, maybe 20 feet away from us. And the first thing that came to my mind, I said, John Wayne, you're full of shit. And right there, my whole attitude at 26 years old changed. I took everything seriously because that round said it was for real. Charlie had a habit of taking grenades and put them in a cluster, 5, 6 grenades, put them in a tree, and run that tripwire down. Hernandez was from Puerto Rico. We were on a skirmish line and going across a field. And I turned around to talk to a partner on the other side. And I heard something go off. When I looked back, I didn't see Hernandez. And when I looked down, there he was. I didn't see him anymore after that. After I had gotten out of service and everything, working at Fort Meade, and one morning, a guy came through in a van. He said, hey, Sergeant Frag. And nobody's called me Sergeant Frag since Vietnam. And who was it? Hernandez. He bust out crying, I bust out crying. I had to go home that day because I couldn't hold it. I like to share stories. I don't like too much to get into the combat situations because I've seen too many guys, and I'm talking about young. When you look at any of those pictures, tell me what you see in there. Every face in there is a young face, from 19 to maybe 20. You go to the wall, you stand down there, look at names on there. I tell you what, I guarantee you that you will feel it.
Years have passed since 9/11, but the memories of those we lost that day and the heroic actions of so many stay with us even now. From the civilian airline travelers who, with no training or obligation, sacrificed their lives to protect the innocent, to the first responders who rushed into burning towers even after they knew they were to collapse. We're here because of you. Your legacy lives on in a generation of service members who've committed themselves to protecting our freedom for the past 20 years and still to this day. We will never forget those brave actions on 9/11 or the valiant souls who made the ultimate sacrifice.
This song is written by Sal Gonzalez, an Iraq War veteran. Most of us who have served overseas have a hero who didn't make it home. And songs like this keep their memory alive.
They threw him a party the day he got home. Oh, and they called him a hero, but he felt all alone. Surrounded by his family, with all his friends but one. Oh, he lost them in that country to a buried roadside farm. When his dad stood up and said, "Our hero has returned," he looked down at his scars and his purple heart and said, "Dad, you know that hurts, 'cause I don't mean to not sound grateful, 'cause the good Lord knows I am, for sparing me my life on the day he took my friend. And I still wish that I'd gone with him, or maybe even took his place. Oh, but destiny didn't lead me that way. I'm not trying to say you're wrong, but heroes ain't the ones who make it home." Well, he said Danny had a daughter he'll never get to see, and I know that he was proud. He was only 23, and they gave me this medal, pinned it on my uniform. But this piece of tin don't mean a thing, no, if it can't bring him home. So I don't mean to not sound grateful, 'cause the good Lord knows I am, for sparing me my life on the day he took my friend. And I still wish that I'd gone with him, or maybe even took his place. Oh, but destiny didn't lead me that way. I'm not trying to say you're wrong, but heroes ain't the ones who make it home. Yeah. I don't mean to not sound grateful, 'cause the good Lord knows I am, for sparing me my life on the day he took my friend. But I still wish that I'd gone with them. Every day I take their place. Oh, but destiny didn't lead me that way. So I'm not trying to say you're wrong, 'cause heroes ain't the ones who make it home. No, heroes ain't the ones who make it home.
Sal Gonzalez honors his fallen comrades through music, keeping their memories alive on the stages of Nashville. And like Sal, the Army Field Band uses the power of music to honor and commemorate service members in uniform for generations.
I was drafted to service in June of 1943. I was with the 29th Infantry Division. That was one of the assault divisions on Omaha Beach, and I led a platoon in battle throughout the war. We left England with 40 men on June 18. All that was left was my sergeant, Bill Doyle, and 7 privates.
I volunteered to join the Marine Corps, assigned to Vietnam. My unit went up to help the units that was having trouble. I got shot in the neck. When I wake up, I'm on a helicopter to Da Nang. I'm taken care of by a young corpsman. I do not know his name, where he came from. He was a man among men.
There were 77 machine guns plus many other weapons on Omaha Beach. And this is what we faced. That's why we lost more than 3,000 men on D-Day. On the 17th, I was hit. I was shot with automatic rifle.
I was a company commander, and my day-to-day job was to go out and seek enemy contact. My vehicle was hit by an IED, and I woke up on my back in the ditch. I said, "Are my legs okay?" And they said, "Sir, you're going to be fine." I would end up losing my right leg at the hip. My last memory from Iraq was when the helicopter came and picked me up off the battlefield.
Coming back home, you try to forget the war. You look for a job. You start to work. But somewhere in the back of your mind, you think about the people who died and the people who did not come back with you. And that bothers you. But yet you keep on going.
In combat, soldiers fight for each other. They fight because they have no choice. Once they're deployed, they have to do the work, and the work has to be done. Even in face of grave danger, you always are mindful of the fact that your friends might come home, and if you don't do it well, some of them won't come home.
I don't tell stories, I tell my experiences, because my experience is the same experience an infantryman in combat gets, whether it's in World War I or World War II, Bosnia, Afghanistan, Iraq. It's the same thing.
As a soldier in combat, I remember feeling a great sense of clarity. I knew that I was risking my life, but I knew that I was risking it for the men around me.
To me, it's a healing, sacred place for us who came back.
The legacy of our fallen is that they died for something that is greater than them. That's why I honor their sacrifice.
From Valley Forge to the battlefields of Gettysburg, to Iwo Jima to the mountains of Afghanistan, our gratitude is timeless. Through songs and through service, we are so thankful for all that you have given our beautiful country.